not a marathon, this W League, it's a sprint. Neither player can afford to wait to get going. So we're very interested to see how both Georgia and Ellie go.
Absolutely. Ellie Brush, of course, had a stint in the AFLW with the Greater Western Sydney Giants, but she's certainly got her eyes set on Tokyo, particularly when it was postponed due to the pandemic. So she, along with pretty much everyone else on this pitch, trying to get back in contention for the Matildas. The Wanderers looking for another foray. Caitlin Cooper, stalwart of this Western Sydney Wanderers side. Cooper again going forward. Teresa Polias gets in the way. Simpson off on a run, can't find a Beanie, or Beanie might wiggle free. Not this time. Princess Beanie back for another season in Sky Blue. Brother Bernie will be lining up tonight for the opposition.
Definitely will be making or assuming his debut for the Wanderers. Bernie Abini, brother of Princess.
Matos tries to find Henry further up the park. Miscue, just onto Urich on your screen just there, been in charge of Sydney FC women's side since 2017, taking them to every finals in his tenure, as they want to do. Sydney FC never missed a finals. They, of course, finished third last season. Didn't have a great run into the finals. They lost 3 of their last 4. The only one they won was that semi-final against Melbourne Victory, but they're hungry to get that trophy back this season. Nice with the header. Drops back. Tobin tries to take Brush rather. Tobin now with control, but sends it to Danica Matos. Green in the way again, and there's Libby Copus-Brown has joined the side from the Newcastle Jets. Great pickup for Dean Heffernan. And Yeomandale goes for tumble. Great to see Georgia Yeomandale back in the W League. It's been such a long absence. She had an injury almost 2 years ago, January 2017.
It's a terrific run. Vine stretching in, conceding the foul. Very strong start. It's a second contribution from Georgia Yeomandale. Off to play for this season. Stands over the free kick. She'll see what she can deliver, but a good start from the Wanderers. Of the two sides, you'd have to say the less settled in preparation, certainly with the new makeup of the team.
And delivers. It's well over Jada Wyman's crossbar. Great to have Georgia Yeomandale in commentary with us last season, but I bet she's much more pleased to be back out on the pitch. Oh, Wyman with her first kick of the game, and of course she's one of the ones that is back in enemy territory after crossing sides of town during the off-season. And the ball coming straight back, or is she? Briley Henry couldn't keep hold of it. Matos. Newborn. 4 appearances for the Wanderers. She'll be vying for that #1 spot this season. Abby Smith departed, and Sarah Willisey from Adelaide having arrived. Nice work from Henry, couldn't keep control. Now Simpson rolls it forward for Abini. Neat footwork from Abini, but trips over the foot of Margot Chauvet. First card of the game to Chauvet.
No patience from the ref. I thought that was slightly accidental from Chauvet, but nevertheless, I don't know that there was any intent in that at all. I'm not suggesting it wasn't a foul, but geez, to be put on notice for that. A tightrope for the youngster on debut out of the Illawarra Stingrays.
And they played there, of course, with Caitlin Cooper, Danica Matos and Chloe Middleton. Quite a number of the Stingrays here, and Teresa Polias, always so good over the dead ball. Simpson leaps. Not too dangerous in there. Ellie Brush goes overhead. But Lena Karma, she's such a terrier in attack. And Henry trying desperately to see if the Wanderers can launch an attack.
Well, that was opening up to Copus Brown, was in behind. If Henry could have just controlled that pass a little better, it was a great chance for the Wanderers. The burst from Karmas creating the opportunity.
Great to have Lena back. She's so pumped to be here. She said to me a week and a half ago, she said, I thought for all money I was done and dusted and finished at Canberra. And she said, then I got the call and I just couldn't resist. She said, I'm a Campbelltown girl and I've just come home.
Well, that's going to mean something different in the A-League soon.
Oh, won't it
like
ever?
in about a couple of hours because of MacArthur's entry. Campbelltown being the epicentre of that football club.
Indeed. However, given they don't have a women's team, Lena's Pool's still pretty safe here in red and black as fed forward Sydney FC. Remy Simpson tries to side foot it past Courtney Newborn.
That was a lovely move from Sydney. Courtney Vine's delivery into the penalty area was good, but the build-up was terrific. Princess Abini is already proving herself a handful. Courtney Vine, the first-time ball into Simpson was a good one. It's decent contact from Simpson as well. No trouble in the end.
And Courtney Vine, a really good pickup for Ante Juric. Of course, him being head coach at Sydney Olympic, he knows quite well what she can do with the NPLW side there. Doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Chevet again finds Henry. Henry having real trouble with Abini, who's just sitting on top of her at times. Vine. A lovely ball down the far side, and Sydney FC looking to launch another attack. Good work from Libby Copus Brown.
Who's covering the ground well is Copus Brown. Playing more as a bit more of an attacking midfielder, so she's recovered brilliantly to help out down the left-hand side. And Dahl was there as well. Good tag team from the two Wanderers.
Oh, Remy Simpson unable to connect with Polias's ball. Goes back, Polias feeds in again. Newborn comes out, gives it a mighty punch. Looking confident, Courtney Newborn.
Yeah, that was a very good goalkeeping. Simpson didn't get it to work the way she wanted initially, and Polias has hit in a really dangerous cross. First time, he judged it well.
Polias again delivered closer this time. Plenty of bodies in the area. Oh, and there's a wind-up. Oh, it just goes wide of the goal. And wow, wouldn't that have been a cracking opening goal? Taylor Ray really getting under that.
That's a terrific effort. Again, it's a dangerous corner, which is well defended. Karmas again defensively has been prominent for the Wanderers, and Taylor Ray latching onto that one. Beautiful volley, great technique, and just spinning wide. Sydney FC coming back into the game nicely. Great start from the Wanderers. But Sydney starting to take control of the match over the last few minutes.
And 17th derby here. First one, of course, at this ground was won by the Western Sydney Wanderers at 5-0. As we mentioned already, a very different side, and Sydney retaliated later in the season with a 3-0 win at Cromer Park. But pitch is looking absolutely beautiful. Tara Rushton, is that the view you've got?
Yeah, good view down here, Steph. Great to see football back at Bankwest Stadium. It's about 23 degrees here. The rain is holding off. A little bit humid, though, here in Western Sydney. A really nice intensity to start the game, though, in the opening 12 minutes or so. As you both mentioned before, Sky Blues well and truly with the ascendancy. Both teams are looking pretty fit. I spoke to Georgia Yeomandale. Great to see her back on the pitch after 18 months out. She said it's been a fantastic pre-season. We know it's been quite short for the girls, but they have been training their bottoms off. And for Sydney FC, Remy Simpson said that Ante Juric has been sending them to the sand dunes. Lots of soft sand sessions. She's not a big fan on the quiet, but did say that it was working incredibly well to get all of the girls fit. But a great opening stanza in this 17th edition of the Sydney Derby.
Yeah, sure is, Tara, and I can't say I know many people who are fans of the sand dunes. Does that bring back pre-season memories, Harps?
Only repressed once.
Call out to Kelly Jones there. Taylor Ray on the ground. Decent clip, and now it's Lena Karmas that picks up second yellow for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Perhaps they're starting as they left off. They did pick up the most yellows last season, and
Well, I had a quibble about the first one, but I can't about the second. Karmas is...
it's vintage Lena Karmas.
Well, you know, she's a fierce competitor. And, you know, she's been very brave defensively already. And that trademark burst in counter-attack to set up the possibility for the Wanderers was about 5 minutes or so ago. So she's really throwing herself around for the cause of the Red and Blacks. Is Lena Karmas, nothing new in that.
Sydney once again charging forward. The feet of Remy Simpson. Polias. Slide from Polias sees Charlotte McLean trying to get a cross in and deftly blocked.
It was a good overlap from McLean, easing her way in to the Sydney FC cause here today. Has started strongly defensively and of late has just begun to add a little bit more to the attack, and she fed nicely off that ball wide as it was spread by Polias.
Flutter ball from Teresa Polias. Mackenzie Hawkesby this time behind it. Not quite enough power on that. The Wanderers struggling to clear. Looked like could have been a handball there. No whistle, and play goes on, and down by Ali Green at this end. Matt Tovin, somewhat of a veteran for Sydney FC. Reset at the feet of Jada Wyman.
Well, that looks like a pointless ball from Jada Wyman, but actually I think it was a good one. I don't think she got the response from Princess Abini that was required. And as that field was opening up, surely one of the tactics from Sydney, as was evidenced by Jada's pass then, was let's see if we can switch the ball in behind the defence and use Princess Abini's pace, which has already been on show here, Steph. Princess just didn't seem to read that one, and had she been on a game, I reckon that would have made Jada's pass look like a beauty.
With that intense 6 weeks of pre-season that Juric has put them through, they do have quite a bit of pace in the side. Utilised exactly what you were talking about, Andy. Lovely ball there from Copus Brown. Briley Henry goes back for Karmas to stretch. And wind up, and that's way over the crossbar from Danica Matos, but why not?
Well, it was set up magnificently by the Copus Brown pass, as you called it, Steph. Danica Matos joining the attack. That's a brilliant pass from Copus Brown. And from Briley Henry, it was just slightly behind Karmas. The steam out of the attack then dissipated. But look at this from Copus Brown. Threaded that magnificently. It was all on for the Wanderers at that point, but unfortunately, Penrith's best, Briley Henry, couldn't get the ball just where it was needed.
And Briley been chatting to the lads down on the sideline, Harps and Speedy, on told she said she has been studying Luis Suarez. Cross in there, oh, and it's come off. Lena Karmas there, and looked like it was going to bobble awkwardly for Jada Wyman. Gathers in. And there's one of those kicks you're talking about. Princess Abini on the other end of it this time. Abini looking for sky blue shirt. She does have Remy Simpson, but decent work there from the Illawarra Stingrays teammates. Danica Matos and Margot Chevet.
I wanted to blip aside, already referred to, but Princess Abini looks like a great target for Sydney. She was magnificently found then by the Wyman release out of goalkeeper. Nice shift of the body weight, good footwork from Princess to get in behind. Couldn't find the pass at the end of it, unfortunately.
Pliers opts to go short this time. She'll get behind this one, puts it in beautifully. Snatched out of the air by Newbon. Pretty decently placed cross though.
Yeah, Polias has been prominent. Consistent, good delivery into the penalty area from either passes or set pieces. Courtney Newbon, really fine fettle to start this W League season in goal for the Wanderers.
Yeah, she'll be pumped to have that starting role. Abby Smith was so strong for them last season until, of course, she was unfortunately injured. Newbon got a taste of first-team football then and doesn't plan to give it up anytime soon. She's been playing with Sydney Uni. Had a really strong season there. Fans starting to trickle into the stadium here at Parramatta. Nice to see. Not too sure how many. Ball in, but Wyman is up to the task. Perhaps not sure how many would be frightened away by the thought of crowds in Sydney with these ever-increasing clusters.
Oh, it'll have an impact for sure when the stadium is open for half capacity officially. But I don't think many people are expecting that sort of target to be hit. Be nice if it was. And you can understand people's prevarications.
Neat 1-2 between Hawkesby and Nevin back to Polias. Came undone, but back with Sydney FC now. Nat Tobin. McLean manages to avoid Yeomandale. Oh, and that one's dropped beautifully for Courtney Nevin. Some really strong defending there from the Wanderers.
Well, it was a necessary stretch in the end. The ball fell to Vine fortuitously, but it's a fantastic reaction from Courtney Nevin. And the Courtney Derby.
It is. Three Courtneys within 10 metres of each other at the moment. And too far for Sydney FC. Hard to believe we haven't had a goal yet in, well, what is it, 90, 110 minutes of football so far?
Yeah, well, certainly Brisbane Roar should have helped themselves to multiple last night. Very impressive. And I think not only setting a marker, but setting an early storyline for the W League. A lot of speculation about what the comp might look like because of the changing personnel. And of all the teams, Brisbane are probably most top-heavy with experienced players, and that certainly showed last night.
I spoke to Tamika Yallop last week. She said they've got the band back together, so it'll be interesting to see when their season develops. Arms out from Ante Juric.
When you look at Tamika was good last night. She had a couple of chances, but the midfield of Isabel Dalton, who was outstanding. Katrina Gorry was running the show. Polkinghorn and Kim Carroll anchoring the defence. I mean, it's a pretty formidable block for Brisbane Roar. They're going to be hard to shake in the W League for 2021.
Certainly are. They'll be keen to get back into winning ways, hopefully pick up another trophy. They were, of course, the inaugural winners of the Westfield W League as Queensland Roar. They're used to a lot of success. It'll be great to watch what Jake Goodship can do with them. Ball went begging and eventually picked up. Riley Henry can't keep control. Tumble for Ali Green. Ali Green and Remy Simpson had a spot of time being moved out of the Northern Beaches. They were put into accommodation in Ryde after the Northern Beaches went into lockdown so that they could start training with the side. Both fit and firing. And the Beanies pass is cut down by Chevet. Only as far as Green. Oh, lovely work from Ali Green. Tries to slip it through to Simpson. Could still be on for Simpson. And Remy Simpson looking for some teammates. Up again. This time it will evade her. Just a little bit of breakdown perhaps in communication. That final touch. Beanie trying to get the ball forward. Time to reset and recompose.
It's pretty hard for the Wanderers to get their foot on the ball at the moment. They're doing a lot of chasing. Sydney is set, moving the ball nicely, really dictating terms.
Oh, that's lovely from Ellie Brush. Simpson on the near side now. Mackenzie Hawkesby in the middle. Close attention from Chevet. Green again. Trying to evade Henry. Nice feet, Riley Henry.
Very good work. Very good work, defensive work from Riley Henry. Speaking of before then, excellent work from Margot Chevet. The youngster in the centre of the fence, she's a battler as well. Throwing herself into challenges. My only worry for her on debut is that she's already on a yellow card. She doesn't look like the type, even in her tender years, to take a backward step from anyone. Very impressive start from her.
Great backstory too, Margot Chevet. 3 years old, she was on the Ivory Coast with her father, who's a warden at the French embassy. Oh, could be on here for Remy Simpson. Simpson lining it up, tries to tip it over Newbon, off the crossbar, and great attempt for Sydney FC. Certainly looked like she might be in for that first goal of this derby.
Well, it's a squandered chance. Newbon decided not to come and put pressure and retreated. The whole goal was open. It's a brilliant chance for Sydney. Simpson started the game well. And that good start has come to nothing now, unfortunately. For her, should be goals at number 18.
Simpson, as I mentioned earlier, the only one of those 4 joint Golden Boot winners that's actually back in the W League this season. She did have a season in red and black, didn't score 1 goal. So clearly sky blue suits her. Looking really confident this season. I will get back to my Margot Chevet story at some point, but
I was on the edge
we
of my
might
seat,
wait.
Steph.
Well, we had them in the Ivory Coast. So I'll tell you.
Yes,
her
please.
father was a warden at the French embassy, and they came under siege, so they had to be squirreled out, and they went back to France because the whole family was under threat. And then she moved out here and decided she was going to play football in Australia, and she's come such a long way. As I said, the Illawarra Stingrays, and playing with so many teammates out there today. It really is, as the Wanderers have told us often before, we've got 2 sides here that really pride themselves on being family-type clubs.
Well, I'm not sure if this is allowed to be said, but the Illawarra Stingrays have been such a staple in women's football.
Sure have. What a ball there through for Courtney Vine. The first goal of the W League season goes to Courtney Vine on enemy territory, and what a way for the Sky Blues to open their campaign. Lovely through ball, fantastic finish.
Well, it didn't take long for Sydney to cast aside the demons that may have been created by Simpson's miss a minute or so ago, and it's Simpson indeed herself who puts the ball on beautifully. It's a great pass. It's a super first touch from Courtney Vine, and more importantly, it's an emphatic second touch. Had to be good on both counts to get past Courtney Newbon in the Wanderers' goal, and Vine does just that. So
we're off and running in the 26th minute of this match. Courtney Vine, a goal on debut for her new club.
So I'll finish my little piece now about
Yes.
the Illawarra Stingrays. Now, I don't know where they fit in the whole scheme of things, except from an outsider, an interested outsider, looking in on the women's game. Is it feasible? Is it possible that the Illawarra Stingrays could be a W League team in their own right, rather than feeding everyone else, as it were? And they've just been so
Not a bad
productive for
shout.
so long.
Not a bad shout. Well, we remember, if you go back probably even before the likes of Michelle Heyman, so many good players have come through the gong, if you like.
Anyway, food for thought.
Not sure who you approach about that anymore, Harps. Is it FA or APFCA or...
Well, my tactic is just to throw it out there on the airwaves and see if someone bites. Well, I'd happily watch them.
Absolutely. Olivia Price heads it back to Lena Karmas. Copus Brown lets it roll through, and it's released up the field for Remy Sampson. Tricky footwork from the Sydney striker. Back heel for Teresa Polias. Polias tries to get back and gather. Remy Sampson's everywhere. Still Sampson. Oh, looks so promising for Sydney FC. Lee Tobin comes in to clean up the scraps.
So they had a couple of chances then, Sydney, to completely split the Wanderers open, and just couldn't quite find it in the end. It's a desperate lunge from Chevet again, which interrupted the momentum, so well done to the youngster once more. But really, Sydney are bossing things at the moment. You get the feeling it's a matter of time before they kick well and truly clear, and this is not going to help the Wanderers' cause if this is anything long-term for Karmas.
Player down in the form of Lena Karmas. I want to say she's got something in her eye.
I think just got whacked by the ball. Polias stretched in. If this was the incident, looks like it.
Karmas makes her way off the pitch, hopefully not for too long. You've got to feel for the Wanderers, Andy, because last season they just had such a star-studded side. And actually, on that note, Amy Harrison is one of the players that did leave their side. She went to PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands, and I'm told that she's got up at 6:20 in the morning to be watching this match. So a shout out to you, Amy. She was one of a string of particularly American stars that for whatever reason weren't able to return, whether it was the season moving or the pandemic.
Well, there's a whole pile of reasons at the moment, and I think the W League clubs and the A-League clubs that oversee them, etc., have done a great job in getting the girls together, getting the squads together in such good shape, given all the difficulties. This game has started really well.
Certainly has, very brightly, and Karma's back on the pitch. Tara Rushton, do we know what the problem was?
Yeah, definitely something in the eye for Lena Karmas. It's great to see her back on the pitch. Great to see her in the red and black as well. She spent last season with Canberra United. This is her 11th Sydney Derby appearance. She's the second highest scorer when it comes to Sydney Derby. Scored 5 goals in her 8 Derby appearances for Sydney FC. None yet for the red and black. She's going to hope she can change that today, though.
Sure will. I remember when Lena Karmas scored the first ever W League goal. Seems like so many, in fact it was so many years ago, let's be honest. Those years are flying. Dean Heffernan with some instructions to his players. He's had a wonderful first season, a bit more of a challenge this year. Of course, he's got his former teammate Michael Beecham in the dugout with him, as well as club legend Catherine Cannuli. And Ante Kovic has come in as goalkeeping coach recently. And Danica Matos with a chance here, crosses in, Wyman flies out.
Well, how good is that as goalkeeping from Wyman? Copus Brown again, just showing what she's going to be able to offer the Wanderers once she settles. But it's the back heel, nonchalant into the space for Matos. That's a beautiful ball, right on point from Danica Matos. But Wyman was really brave at the feet. Tidied things up immaculately. Good little opportunity for the Wanderers. Not getting many looks at the Sydney goal. And that was one of the better ones.
And the scramble between Simpson and Cooper. Well, Cooper, is she fast enough to beat Vine? Vine was charging in. First goal scorer for the W League season 2020-2021. Calm us down again.
Yeah, she was asking for some eye drops or something. I'm not sure if...
Not sure if there's anything floating around in the air down there. Does Lena wear contacts?
Well, I stopped myself before asking the question. But it does come to mind. I don't have an answer.
I'm sure someone will tell us before the match is out. Hopefully it is just a couple of eye drops she needs. She told me that she's been doing some, what do you call it, the traffic direction? You know, the people that hold the signs and stop traffic during the off-season? And I thought, can you imagine if you tried to go through, Lena Karmas would just put a boot on the front of your car and say, nope. Also training for a new profession, which I'm sure we'll hear more about in the coming months, but nothing taking her focus off the football this moment.
Certainly very irritated by that eye at the moment. It looked innocuous, but really irritating. You can see for Lena just how much it is bothering her.
It looks like she's just done the mandatory walk across the sideline, but it's a lot of eye drops going into that eye. Hopefully it hasn't been scratched by some an abrasion or anything. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. We'll get Tara onto that. Play back underway for the Wanderers as Margot Chevet looks up the pitch, hoping to find Henry. And Sydney FC really doing well with that pressure in the final third. Green to Simpson, a little bit too casual there from Remy. Chloe Middleton standing ready. Haven't mentioned Middleton yet. Great mates with number 11, Danica Matos. And Green in the air, almost came off the side of Nevin's boot for a second. Wanderers get the chance to set up again. Dean Heffernan had signalled perhaps them to wait, hoping to get Karmas back on the pitch. And indeed, she's standing ready. Ellie Brush heads down for Sydney FC. Copus Brown, Patricia Yeoman Dale, Matt Tobin at the ready. McLean on the far side. Nevin heads up and over. Simpson was there, but Caitlin Cooper opts for safety. Price only goes as far as Simpson. Wanderers just struggling to keep out these waves of Sydney attack. Brush, Tobin. Hawkesby up to the far side. Back to Wyman. Karmas applying the pressure. Looks to be okay for the moment. And there's a nice ball to Henry. Could drop nicely for Karmas, but Tobin just sends it safely over the line. Well, that looked like it was going to be a lovely ball through to Lena Karmas.
Well, it was a great idea from Henry. Just couldn't quite get the cushion she needed on that touch, but the vision and the thinking was excellent.
So, Tara, what's the news? Is Karmas good to go?
Well, she is back on the pitch, and I know that it's that left eye that's giving her a whole lot of trouble. They don't know whether she's actually been scratched on the eye or if she's got something in the eye. The doctor was applying so many eye drops to that left eye. Dean Heffernan said, mate, if you cannot see and it's giving you trouble, just come off. He was obviously and naturally really concerned about the player's safety. But she's on for now. We'll see how she goes.
Yeah, something invisible in your eye, terribly irritating from personal experience, not whilst I was playing football, but I'm relating to Lena. I had a piece of glass in my eye. Don't know how it happened. The doctor wasn't surprised. A little shard of fleck of glass, and I could not do anything about it. Doctor's GP surgery, like 10 minutes, a little bit of whiz-bangery, a few drops, it was gone. He knew exactly what he was looking for. I had no idea where it came from.
Yeah, well, that's
Just
the thing.
in the atmosphere.
Terribly distressing and so very irritating, isn't it? As Vine runs forward again. Romy Simpson this time. Simpson got a good look, and it's side-footed in by Mackenzie Hawkesby, who looked like she had a great view of goal. Palmed away by Courtney Newbon.
That's a great run out of midfield. Vine to Simpson, been very good. And the cutback was excellent. Hawkesby's run was great. At that point, as a player, you think you've done enough to score. Your run's going to be rewarded. You've made the contact you need. But Newbon, great, dropping down to the near post.
Wise delivers, plenty of bodies leaping high. Beanie looking off the clearance. Oh, it's Henry that puts it back into the field, but Ali Green will be the one to chase it down. And Green perhaps thinking that Abini might be flying down this left flank. Didn't come off this time, but yeah, further to what you're saying before, you wonder if that's something that they've been looking at in training. Release Abini and let her speed do the work. Nice duck from Olivia Price, picks up the ball again. You can hear a smattering of applause from the growing crowd here in Parramatta. Hoping to see a Wanderers goal, and on target, but straight to the keeper. No problem at all for Wyman. Just over 4 minutes to go, rather, in the 17th Sydney derby. Of course, it's double derby delight in Parramatta, with Western Sydney Wanderers men taking on New Boys Macarthur FC later on this evening. You're on double derby duty as well, aren't you, Harry?
Looking forward to it. Well, I'm enjoying this one first, so make the most of this W League clash, in which Sydney are looking, very, very strong. The way the game is tracking at the moment, they're going to do this reasonably comfortably. So how do the Wanderers change the game? That's the question for Dean Heffernan.
Wanderers have a player down as Vine charges forward, looking to pick out Remy Simpson just ahead. And Yeomandale sends the ball away so her teammate can get some treatment.
Well, this is a worry because there was no contact, there was no one around. You just hope it isn't one of these ones where from nothing. You've done some knee damage. Thankfully, Libby's up. She was going to be the focus of my way forward for the Wanderers, Copus Brown. So I'll need her to be walking around at least.
You will. Don't put the mockers on her hops. She's been a great pickup for the Wanderers. She was really getting some, well, much more meaningful minutes at the Jets. Spent some 7 or so years there. She was starting to be an important part of their setup.
It was a huge loss for the Jets. Tegan Collister's also a loss for the Jets. She's not figuring for the Wanderers today, but is in the Wanderers squad. And then from a Sydney viewpoint, they've got one of Newcastle's best, in my opinion, Claire Wheeler, who's a week or two away, got a little bit of an injury. Sydney will only be stronger for Wheeler's addition, but I'd just look at the Wanderers going into half-time. And to put some more pressure back on Sydney, I'd be almost sacrificing Copus Brown as a midfield. Just sit. Frank Arrock used to call those type of players of that position the cheating position, because don't give them a defensive responsibility. It's not that she's not capable, but we've seen with her passing in the front half of the field, in the front third, the back heels, the threaded passes, just how dangerous she can be. And from a Wanderers viewpoint, looking for a mechanism on how we can hold the defensive line but put Sydney under some pressure. And so I'm saying, Libby Copus Brown, up you go. Play off Lena Karmas, not as a striker, but come back into that space in behind. Let us get you the ball, and you start causing Sydney some problems. Let's give them something to think about. But, of course, we needed to be injury-free to do that, so let's hope there's nothing wrong.
So far, so good, and hopefully we'll be able to get a word from the Wanderers coach in the second half and find out if he's taken your tactics to heart.
Yeah, and to facilitate that, just pushing Copus Brown up into a more dangerous position. I'd just maybe bring Yeomandale in on the left and Henry in on the right, just to play a bit narrower, to block things up a little bit. They can support from deep, both great athletes. Yeomandale's really started the game very powerfully on the moments we've seen her.
Oh, lovely from Simpson to try and pick out Vine, who she's still got a foot on her, but Margot Chevet once again in the action. Just a final word on Copus Brown, Hubs. You're absolutely right. We've seen her in such a dangerous attacking position for Newcastle. She could be deployed really well here, right up and down that flank. Well, the seconds counting down in the first half of this 17th Sydney derby. Board goes up. There will be 3 minutes of time added on.
Well, that surely looked like a handball. The refs decided to ignore. Would have been in favour of the Wanderers.
They'll be looking favours right now, trying to get out of their half and eradicate the danger before the break. Rush to Polias. Dale charges forward. Chloe Middleton in the action. And Price, they're certainly battling hard. It's just Sydney seems so much in control when they're on the ball. No rush from McLean as she trots down to retrieve. Vine with the neat flick up, didn't find Simpson. Polias. Simpson again, and not too much danger for Courtney Newbon. Just enough time for the Wanderers to launch another attack. Oh, what control from Copus Brown until it went over the sideline.
Well, it was a really smart run into the danger position. Newbon found her, and Copus Brown did do well to bring it down, but couldn't ultimately secure the possession.
Oh, Simpson and Vine looking to link up again. They're going to become a very dangerous combination. In fact, Ante Juric a bit spoilt for choice. He's, of course, got Rachel Lowe in the ranks, I beg your pardon, as well.
Well, one of the players he is certainly looking forward to unleashing, Steph, is Lyra Toby. She'll get 20-odd minutes today. Hasn't played for a number of months. I think she's just a massive prospect for the Matildas.
She is a huge talent. We saw what she could do up in Brisbane as well. Vine again looking to pick out Simpson, who gets a head on it over the bar, but again, great communication with the Sydney front line.
Well, all the traffic is coming down the Sydney right-hand side. And Courtney Vine, it's a really good delivery. She's got the goal that separates the teams, and she was looking to return the favour to Remy Simpson.
And there we have the half-time whistle. It is Sydney FC who are certainly dominating this fixture thus far. It was a lovely finish from Courtney Vine to put the visitors up 1-0 at the break here at Bankwest Stadium. Half-time, Sydney FC lead by 1-0. We've seen some really good things from Sydney FC this half. The Wanderers defending valiantly, not enough to keep their crosstown rivals out. Jada Wyman not being too troubled in the Sydney FC goal. We did see not just the first goal of today's match, but the first goal in the Westfield W League for this season, and part of a lot of the build-up has been Sydney FC's Remy Simpson. She's with Tara Rushton.
Yeah, thanks so much, Steph. Remy, a great opening half from you guys. A cheeky assist as well for the opening goal. You must be happy with that one.
I was really happy. Unfortunately, I hit the crossbar, so I'm going to be trying to get a goal this half, but I'm very happy for Courtney. She's been doing really well in pre-season, and we link up really well, so really happy for her.
It's looking really good in that front third. More of the same come the second half?
Definitely. I think we're really starting to understand one another, how each other move off the ball, and it'd be nice if all three of us could get a goal. We're definitely going to try and get some more goals this half and hopefully take the 3 points at the end of the game.
Hey, those soft sand runs